I've had many ideas for videos, some of which ended up on this channel. However, there are a good chunk that did not, and I may never make. So I thought it'd be a fun idea to show off some of the videos I thought about making, but didn't quite make it into video form. Some of these video ideas were part of a series I never continued, some I wanted to, but eventually changed my mind at the last minute. Some I even wrote a script for, and became close to making the video, but for whatever reason I didn't. And who knows, maybe one day I'll change my mind, but most of them probably won't ever be on this channel. Either way, here are some video ideas that I never uploaded. Let's begin with top 10s. Now I haven't made a top 10 video in a long time, and I'm definitely not opposed to making more eventually. There is a load that I almost made, but ended up scrapping. This list was last edited back in 2017, and on that list we have some ideas I've already made, like favourite and least favourite Pokemon, best and worst shinies, best secret base items, but other ideas I had was my favourite and least favourite Pokemon moves. I specifically remember thinking about what moves would be on my favourite list, and some of them were Roar of Time, which was my favourite overall, Close Combat, Aura Sphere, Scald. I remember the move Powder specifically, because I loved the idea of it. It only works if the opponent uses a fire move, and if they do, it blows up in their face. Very situational, but I thought it was very cool. And over time they continued to come out with new and more flashy moves, to the point where I didn't even know what to do. Do I allow Z moves and Gigantamax moves? The animation for moves was just getting bigger and bigger, so in the end I never ended up making a favourite and least favourite move video. I had a separate top 10 idea for competitive moves, since I did play quite a lot of Smogon and VGC back in the day, but again, there were so many moves coming out, I wasn't comfortable making one of those videos without help with someone who's more experienced than me. I thought of best and worst Pokemon abilities. I specifically remember arguing that Truant was the worst ability in the game, worse than Slow Start and Defeatist, but decided a top 10 list on abilities didn't interest me anymore. When Pokémon was about to come out, of course a list of Pokemon that should be in the game was thought of, but I'm someone who doesn't like to do videos that won't have any longevity, and plenty of people are already doing lists on Pokemon who should and shouldn't be in Pokémon, or even others about Pokemon that should have new forms, etc. So it wasn't something that really interested me. And finally, I remember coming up with the idea of top 10 Pokemon gyms in Pokemon. Not the gym leaders, specifically the gyms themselves, just because of the Psychic Gym in Kalos I thought was really cool. But again, lost interest in the idea. The last top 10 that nearly happened but I ended up not making was, as the thumbnail says, top 10 hottest Pokemon. Let me explain. It was gonna play out like the thumbnail suggested the video would be, but then it would turn out that I was actually ranking Pokemon based on their temperature, so how hot they literally are, which I thought would have been pretty funny, but it never happened for a couple of reasons. One, I didn't really know how to drag out a single joke for 8+ minutes, even though I have done that before and for way longer. And two, I later found out that JWits had made a video that made this exact joke in one of his top 10 videos. So in the end, I decided not to make the video. Again, I do see myself making another top 10 in the future, but if I do, maybe don't expect any of these ones. Longtime viewers of the channel will know that I used to do a small series called Pokemon Vs, where I compared two Pokemon, mainly competitively, but it wasn't long until I had no more interest to doing anymore. However, I can still show you some of the matchups that I thought of, way before I even created the series. Aside from episodes I posted, here are all the matchups that I thought about doing at the time. Some of them are pretty obvious when being compared, others were more unique and situational. Yeah, don't expect this series to come back anytime soon, and I apologise to anyone that hopes that I do bring it back. A somewhat similar series to Pokemon Vs that I thought of that never happened was something that I called Pokemon AIM, standing for Abilities, Items and Moves. In the series, instead of Pokemon, I would compare two abilities, items and moves to determine which one I thought was superior. I remember wanting to compare moves like Hydro Pump and Scald, since at the time, most water-type Pokemon would have to use one of these two moves. Do you want the harder hitting move, or the one that's not going to miss, and you might burn the opponent? For this reason, Scald became one of my favourite moves, and I hated the move Hydro Pump. 80% might seem high, but when it comes to accuracy, it really isn't. Here's the full list of other moves, abilities, and items that I thought about talking about. I originally was going to read them all off, but as you can see there were way too many, and I didn't want to drag on for too long. this idea was scrapped pretty quickly, mainly because I didn't really know how to make a conversation that was interesting, especially when given these sorts of comparisons. That, and I also didn't really know what to title each episode that would make people want to watch. Another series that I came up with was called Pokemon Debates, where I'd bring up a subject relating to Pokemon and discuss to see what people thought. This is how I got the idea of making a video of Blastoise possibly being more popular than Charizard. Overall, most of these topics never became full videos, because I didn't really know how to make a 10-minute conversation out of them while at the same time being interesting. A video that almost got a sequel was my first collaboration video on Pokemon with unexpected heights. I was planning to do a video on Pokemon with unexpected weights, and this was originally going to be my first collab with Dobbs, but in the end we went for something else, since the Pokemon weights video wasn't as interesting as I thought. Around this time, a new Pokemon video trend started where people would talk about what kind of gym leader there would be. And while part of me wanted to join in, and also talk about what kind of gym leader I'd be, to me gym leader implies that you're not the best trainer in the region. So I got the idea of if I was a Pokemon champion instead, way before this topic became a trend as well. However, I wasn't just going to show off what kind of team I had. I planned on going all out. Not only did I make myself a team, but I also created my own Elite Four members, commissioning an artist, @ValiantKai on Twitter, to make original trainers, each of them sharing some sort of design feature, telling you what their star Pokemon is. These designs turned out great, and I even planned on asking some fellow Pokemon creators to voice these characters. However, the video unfortunately didn't end up happening, mainly due to time, and myself ending up working on other videos, since this one was pretty big, and eventually I wasn't as passionate about making this video anymore. But I didn't want these awesome pieces of art to go to waste. So, if I ever did decide to make this video again, or something featuring original character designs, maybe I will end up using these properly in the future. Probably the most ambitious video I planned, but ended up not doing, was a parody video of the show Planet Earth that I called Planet Pokémon, where I take the format of Planet Earth and add a sort of Pokémon twist to it. This project ended up not happening mainly due to me not knowing how to visually represent Pokémon on screen. I was thinking of using PNGs and moving them around, but again, I didn't know quite what I wanted, and the visual side of things was definitely the main setback. I did end up making a small intro for the video in the style of Planet Earth 2, and honestly, out of all the videos I've talked about so far, this is the one I would definitely like to do in the future, but if I did, it most likely wouldn't happen for a while. We'll see though. Going back to video series that I made, one I really wanted to continue was the 5 Pokemon that could beat insert character here, because of how absurd and fun they were to make. One I had planned was back when Avengers Infinity War was coming out, being 5 Pokemon that could beat Thanos. I also had an idea for 5 Pokemon that could beat Batman. Unfortunately, these videos took way longer to make than I'd like. Coming up with reasons for Pokemon to beat these insane characters being both funny and ridiculous was pretty hard at times. For the Thanos video, my idea was to have different Pokemon representing each stone from the films and comics, or something along those lines, but I just wasn't able to come up with a script I was happy with. Also, I wanted Kangaskloud Cloud to make an appearance in all of these videos as part of the series, but he since went absent from the internet for a while, so if I did end up making the videos, I'd have to do them without him, and that's something I didn't see happening. In the end, time just continued to pass and they never happened. Some of my favourite videos I've made on my channel that I'd love to do more of are the more live action style videos. And one I really wanted to make was a sequel of some kind to my Mimikyu video, which I still think is one of the best things I've created, period. The plan was to make another Halloween video, this time about Mr. Mime. I had the video planned out in my head, but it was just something that I wasn't able to put onto paper, and I really didn't know how I was going to film it. I will say though, if I ever figure out what I would do, I'm definitely making this video. It's just something that probably won't happen anytime soon, unfortunately. Another sequel video I planned on making was a sequel to my How to Evolve Eevee into Sylveon video.
My name is Babasunade Bulbasaur, and today I am going to be showing you exactly how to evolve Eevee into Sylveon.
I had a perfect idea for a video called How to Win Every Pokemon Battle. I knew exactly how the video would have panned out. However, this was around the time Sun and Moon came out, and as you know, they got rid of triple battles, and triple battles were one of the main focuses of the video. At first I figured, no biggie, I'll just record footage in Gen 6, where there were triple battles. But like some other videos on the list, I wasn't satisfied with the script, more time went on, and it just never happened unfortunately. So I used to make videos on the Pokemon anime, and I've had many ideas of anime specific videos that I feel like I would have made if it wasn't so difficult to show anime in a video, even if it is under fair use, which it would have been, and always has been. But these ideas for videos always required me showing footage of anime, and ever since my Savage Ash video was blocked forever, rest in peace, I've decided to never touch the anime again, or at least as little as possible. It really sucks because anime videos were not only pretty fun to make, but they usually performed really well. And finally, the last video I'm going to talk about is probably the most ridiculous one I've attempted, but would have had a massive payoff if it worked, being trying to create a convincing fake Pokemon leak. So convincing that some people would end up covering it, and then obviously proven wrong whenever the next Pokemon announcement happened. I planned this a few months before the Diamond and Pearl remakes were announced. The fake leak I planned was for Diamond and Pearl remakes. I also wanted this to be as secret as possible, so I ended up telling maybe 2 people at the time about it. My plan was to make a convincing 4chan/Reddit post that was in traditional Japanese, and luckily one of my friends was fluent in that language, so I made a post that Diamond and Pearl remakes were on the way. Of course, I needed convincing names for the Diamond and Pearl remakes. The issue here is that Game Freak is trying to be less and less predictable over the years, so I wanted something that sounded like it could be true but also not obvious. In the end, the names I went with were Chrono Diamond and Cosmic Pearl. Cosmic I thought was a perfect name for Pearl, but I really wasn't sure about the Diamond name. At one point I was thinking Eternal Diamond, another I was thinking Cosmic for both titles, but in the end I went with Chrono. It was a time-related word, and I hadn't seen anyone think of that before, so decided to risk it. I posted it to 4chan under an anonymous user, and it was almost immediately taken down. This, however, I saw as a good thing, as posts that are taken down can be given the excuse of it was taken down because it's real, and people don't want this information getting out. So I posted this to Reddit, staying anonymous, left it for a bit, and after a few hours, it had already gained some traction. Of people saying that the post was completely fake and there's no way that Game Freak would name their Pokemon game Chrono Diamond. At that point I knew that I would have to start again with another leak. But by the time I thought about it, Pokemon were already ready to announce their next game, and what do you know, they announced Diamond and Pearl remakes. So technically I was kind of right, but not really. Got the names way off anyway. So yeah, this was a complete failure. As much as I like to troll sometimes, definitely not something on that scale ever again. So those are most of the ideas for videos that I at one point were planning on making, but they never happened. I'm pretty sure most of them will never see the light of day on my channel, but I don't know, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Maybe enough likes and I'll consider making one of these videos sometime. But if you did enjoy, please do leave a like, as it does help the video out, subscribe for more Pokemon content in the future, and until next time, thank you so much for watching.